That's the gimmick. I'm gonna do my review of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hopefully this microphone is working. It's been giving me some problems. Anyway, so what did I think of Final Fantasy VII? So before I get into this, the remake, right? Come into this review knowing a few things about me. If you want to know what kind of RPGs I've liked before, say I actually like Final Fantasy VIII. I know some people don't like it. I like Final Fantasy X. I like Final Fantasy X too. I know a lot of people didn't like that. I think Final Fantasy 15 could have been a really cool game. I like Persona 3. I like Persona 4 a lot. I wasn't that horny about Persona 5. Um, Star Ocean 3, the first two-thirds of Star Ocean 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. Is there anything else I should say, like RPG wise? I'm sure there is, but just to give you a little bit of an idea of what I like, you know what I mean? And I should say that for what it's worth, I've never been someone that's super. Final Fantasy VII wasn't quotation marks my game, maybe. So I'm not super biased towards it, right? So what did I think of Final Fantasy VII though? So hopefully that's my little padding for this review, right? I actually thought that Final Fantasy VII is actually pretty incredible in a lot of areas. I think gameplay wise, I think it generally works really well. I thought the boss battles were often fantastic. Probably the best collection of boss battles, even better than Kingdom Hearts games. I thought, you know what I mean? I should say that like I liked Kingdom Hearts 2 a lot, considering I don't care about Kingdom Hearts at all. I like Kingdom Hearts 2 a lot. Didn't really Kingdom Hearts 3 was just whatever for me. So again, giving you a little bit of idea what kind of games I like, right? The boss battles were amazing. Almost all of them were fantastic. I thought the fighting was generally really well done. It felt like you were a team. You know what I mean? It felt like switching between your team. It felt like you were supposed to do that, right? Generally, it worked really well. And some of the stuff I thought aesthetically and the emotion it was trying to give you was amazing as well. The way that the music, like, man, so many great remixes of like old songs as well. You know, I think the guy who made, I don't know, did he make all the remixes of Final Fantasy VII remake? I don't know, but I think he had that rock band before the Dark Mages, right? And I've said this before that a lot of the Dark Mages remixes were not necessarily better than other Dojin kind of remix people you can find on the internet or other remixes, right? So they were just okay. But when I listened to the remixes of this game and the music, I was like, wow, so much of this music is fantastic, and the way that it like goes into while you're playing like seamlessly, right? Transitioning, right? Some examples of like some of the aesthetics and the way the design of the game and the direction of the game were amazing. And I guess this contains some spoilers, right? This does contain some spoilers, so stop watching if you don't want to watch. Like, say when you're climbing back up Midgar after you use your little like grappling hooks, right? You know, and then you start fighting all these robots, and it's the first time in the game when you fight that little robot who, whenever you like pressure him or whatever it's called, he's staggered. And when he's staggered, he has that little like blue force field that's trying to push you away. And you feel like the sunset, and I don't know if they did this on purpose, but the story is trying to convey this like emotion of you're fighting against a more powerful being while you're climbing up this, and the sun is setting, and the way the music changes this, and that's the first time you fight that one robot that whenever you stagger him you're also getting pushed away. And so I think it makes the player feel that emotion, like, hey, I'm struggling against this oppressive Shinra corporation, and now this enemy is like, it's trying to like pressure, even though I'm trying to like fight back a little bit, it's now pressuring against me, right? I don't know if they purposely had that enemy there, but I think that you could appreciate that that enemy was there at the time, right? So I think it's really well done. And I said all those good things about the game. But you want to know what? All these good things about the game, all this crap all together, you know what? I don't think I've ever played a more well designed game that I wasn't horny about playing the next one. Like, and I'm gonna tell you this. You know what? This game, I don't know who this game was really designed for, right? First of all, actually, before I get into it, let me just say that all the side quests are so fucking boring. Games are just being padded with side quests. Side quests are so boring, dude. The side quests are just so boring, and you only have so much time to do them, right? And so I feel like you're not even appreciating the story really because the game is kind of linear, right? But then to do these side quests are all thrown at you all at once. So it's like, oh, let me I only have so much time to do all these side quests, so you just do them one after another. And the game is really, I say, I don't know who this game is really for because, of course, I guess the plot twist is, basically there's these whisper things now, and it's trying to stop you from changing what is supposed to be the fate of Final Fantasy VII, right? And eventually Sephiroth comes, and I guess he gets you to kill the whispers, which means that now the story can be different, which I'm confused because then it kind of implied that Zack is still alive, but didn't you just kill the whispers of fate after the fact? So how would that retrograde that or whatever? Go back in time? I don't know what they were doing with that, right? But the point is, I don't know who this game was actually for because the story, if you're like me, in my opinion, if Final Fantasy VII is just whatever to you, it didn't make me care about the characters. You know what I mean? The characters are not very likable in my opinion. At least in this one, you know what I mean? I think Barrett is the most likable character. You don't really learn about the characters. They went through all this ideas like, oh yeah, we want people to really like these characters and everything like that. And you want to know what? I didn't care about any of the characters whatsoever, dude. I thought the characters were generally pretty annoying. You know what I mean? Doing all these side quests, I'm like, this isn't that fun. I don't think it's like I didn't care about the characters. So then it's kind of like, who is this game for? Because you get to the idea that, and I've read a lot of reviews online of people saying that they don't know, they didn't like the plot twist, right? So you had the plot twist, and you have all these people that were horny about Final Fantasy VII before, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't like the plot twist." So it's like if you have these, so it's like you kind of. I'm trying to think of how to say what I'm getting at. I feel like you have to have played Final Fantasy VII before, or know what the story is to appreciate the characters, right? You have to know what they're trying to like. Oh, hey, Cloud wasn't supposed to find out that he's not who he thinks he is right now, so the Whispers took him away. So you have to have played the game to actually appreciate those kind of moments, right? But then it seems like most people that liked Final Fantasy VII before don't like the changes, it seems like, right? And I think the change is logical because, of course, logical quotation marks, because you want to have something new to give people. So there has to be some kind of new plot device to make there a reason for there to be a new game, right? So there has to be something going on. But again, if you don't care about Final Fantasy VII and if you're new to it, can you even appreciate what they're doing? Do you even know what they're doing? Do you know what I mean? So who is it for? That was my question. Like, who is the game for? And again, I don't think the game does a good job of making you care about the characters because the characters are generally not very interesting. I don't think they're very. Don't care about Jesse and all these characters. They're extremely annoying. Fat dude. I don't even remember Fat Dude's name anymore, dude. Was it Widges or Bags or who? I don't remember who was who. I just like, do you care about these characters? Like, again, the direction of the game and a lot of the battle system is fantastic. I think you know what I mean. It feels like you're a team. It feels like you should be switching out. And the direction of the game, certain moments of the game feel incredible. But at the end of the day, who is the game for? That's what I was questioning. And I just thought, like, man, for these next, because I think there's supposed to be two more remixes of the game, right? Or two more versions, like Final Fantasy Remake 2 and 3, that they're going to do the rest of the story. And it's just kind of like, man, I'm not really horny about doing a bunch of side quests over again. If it's just going to be another game padded with a bunch of side quests, I'm not that horny about it. Um, I don't know how they're going to do the leveling up system. Like, am I going to have to level up all my weapons again? That doesn't sound very fun to me. So again, I don't think I've ever played such a well-made game that didn't make me feel excited about playing the next one. Does that make sense? Because I'm not really sure who the game is for. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with the next series, and maybe we'll have to judge it as a series overall, if that makes sense. Because again, I don't really know who the game was designed for. I feel like, right? But overall, I'm gonna give it, the game was good with an asterisk mark, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully you get what I'm getting at. I guess there was some spoilers there, but I guess we'll see how the next game turns out, right? That's my Final Fantasy VII review, I guess. The end.